I'm going to review a Stanley Lee classic now. This is Blue Beetles. It is very good. This is a cover here. We have got Blue Beetles. He's the star of the book, but he's hardly in it. This is Captain Adamant. And this is Mr. Questions. The backstory of this one is this is meant to tell you what it is, but they didn't do a very good job of explaining it. What's happened is, like, there's this energy dome a bit covering a city, a bit like that excellent film Biodome. Yeah, it's covering a city, and in that city there are two factions. There is Hub City and there is 31st Century Metropolis, and they're fighting over land. The hence fight for your city. And it's a bit like a feudal Japan, except without Japan. So I could have just said it's a bit like feudal. What we have is we open up and there's a riot going on between 31st Century Metropolis and Hub City, and this here is Mr. Questions. When he's not being Mr. Questions, his day job is a news reporter. And what happens is, right, some people say that you shouldn't have politics in comics, but they're wrong. And I'll tell you why they're wrong, because this comic has politics in it, and it works because it neatly aligns with my own political beliefs. Here we have 31st Century Metropolis. They're just ordinary innocent people. They're like protesters, and they're fighting against Hub City here, who are the army, the United States Army, and this is like the general. This is Captain Adamant, and he's like Donald Trump's little lackey, isn't he? And what happens is, right, as you can see there, the protesters, they're just ordinary people like you and me, and their only crime is they are left wing. So what does Donald Trump's army do? They open fire and kill them all. Unprovoked military action on American soil against American citizens. This is disgusting. This is what you get when you put an evil man like Donald Trump in the White House. Kill hungry, warmongering soldiers, butchering American citizens who have done nothing wrong. It is like my favourite singer says, my favourite singer, Childish Gambler, it's like he says, "This is America." It's just disgusting, isn't it? Although, to be fair, the protesters did open fire first, but that still doesn't excuse this disgusting abuse of the American military by evil Donald Trump, just killing people who disagree with him. And now we've got this advert to try and cool you off, calm you down. Set your watches to April 14th, people, because Batman vs. Robin is out. This is the sequel to Batman vs. Superman. This is going to be a good one because it stars such huge, big-name stars as Jason O'Mara, Stuart Allen, Jeremy Sisto, and Grey Griffin. I mean, personally, I can't wait to see all those heavyweight names all together in one film. I mean, do you know how long I've been waiting to see Jason O'Mara and Stuart Allen play off each other in a film? I mean, this is going to be like in Heat when De Niro and Pacino finally meet up. It's going to be like that, except with A-list talent like Jason O'Mara and Stuart Allen. I can't wait for this film. And then what happens is, yep, look at all the destruction caused by the American military. Stupid, horrible Donald Trump. We cut to Blue Beetles, and he is in his office doing science. What he's doing is, actually, he has this assistant here, and I don't know if it's just like my mating season or something, but I must say she is lovely. Like, she isn't sexualized. There's nothing sexual about her. Like, she's just drawn as a normal woman. Just like, she's not even got like the top button undone. She just looks lovely. Like, I'd happily have her as my assistant, and well, I wouldn't sexually assault her, and I definitely wouldn't do any sexual misconduct. I would just treat her fairly and respectfully. I'd pay her on time. I'd pay her wages that are either equal to male wages or better than male wages. And you know what, like Christmas time and stuff, I'd get her a card, maybe a present valued somewhere between £15 and £20. She just looks lovely. Like she's the sort of woman you just want to go, oh, you're lovely, you, and then go about your day. What Blue Beetles is doing is he's making a laser to try and get through the dome that they're stuck in. And then in comes Donald Trump's right-hand man, his little lackey, Captain Adamant, and he's trying to shut down the science, because you know what Trump is like. He thinks global warming is all made up and stuff like that. So he's like, oh no, this is a load of rubbish. You're wasting money. We should be investing this money in Space Force or some rubbish. Oh, I can't stand. I tell you what, I really, really cannot stand Donald Trump. I know I'm in a completely different country and he literally barely affects my life at all. But I cannot stand him. I think he's the worst thing in the world, and he's gonna kill us all. And here is an advert for a Batman comic. I think I have this Batman comic, so I might review that one soon. And Blue Beetles, here's an advert for a Comic Con here, a cosplay there of Superman, but he is not a very good cosplay because the cape is meant to be a bit lower than that, mate. And if you look here, we've got a Wonder Woman. Her crown isn't even on straight. It's like, it's not centered. So go to Atlantic City Boardwalk Con to see some cosplay that just misses the mark. So he fires the laser at the dome, but it doesn't do anything, except it does do something. It gives Captain Adamant, it brings his powers back. And this is where the comic gets really dark, because he goes off by himself with his powers, and he just starts beating up gay people. I mean, fucking Trump's America, am I right? It's so wrong. Like, yeah, he hasn't done out wrong. Like, his colour coordination could be better, but like, he's gay, he can get away with that. It's like camp, it's like style and that. But horrible alt-right Nazi here, the evil military general, butt-licking Donald Trump, he's just jumping at him, beating him up. And then Booster Gold shows up. Now, if you don't know who Booster Gold is, he is possibly the second most famous superhero in the world. And he stops the alt-right Nazi from beating up the poor gay man. And look, he's even... This is what the alt-right are like. They even turn on their own. This is a blonde white man, like their Aryan god. I cannot stand the alt-right. And then we finally have Blue Beetles showing up, and he comes, jumps into the fight, and I got worried here because what happens is he saves the Nazi, he just lets the gay man fall to his death. I was thinking, oh no, I've accidentally bought one of those alt-right comics, you know, one of the Indiegogo Kickstarter lot, and it's all about like alt-right heroes who hate diversity, think women belong in the kitchen, and they hate trans people. And I was really worried here, but then it got us back because something really cool happened. One of the buildings, right, it comes alive and turns into a person. I mean, that's inventive, that. Like, imagine if you were just walking down Northumberland Street and like HMV came alive and it like was a person and stuff, and it was like, hey, how are you doing? I mean, this is so inventive. I think Stanley Lee, when he was writing this, he was smoking on a little bit of something, if you know what I mean. He was talking away on Puff the Magic Dragon, if you know what I mean. He was taking a whiff on Captain Sensible, if you know what I mean. He was smoking drugs, is what I'm saying. So then what happens is the alt-right Nazi has to team up with the left wingers the correct heroes to fight the building that has come alive, and I thought that is interesting. Maybe they'll do something, and then the building does a big fart, and everyone's going to die because it stinks, and it's to be continued. And there we have an advert for Mad Max Fury Road, a film I've never seen because I am dyspraxic and afraid of cars. In conclusion, I think this comic is really good. I think the political points are quite clever because it doesn't upfront say that he is the baddie, but it is clear that he is the baddie. And I'm really interested to see what happens with this. So yes, this is, I mean, keep this in mind, Stan Lee is 97 years old and he is putting out work like this. And some people think that he should have retired like 30 years ago. They'd be missing out on gems like this. I rate this one my highest score ever. 7 thumbs up.